Let's talk about you for a second. If you've ever wondered how the Bible can talk about joy when depression is also real, it can be chemical, situational, heavy, then I want to help you with that today. Not with a shortcut, not with, oh, you just need to think positively. No, but what it actually means when the Bible talks about joy, when your life is not okay, and when joy feels like it's very far away. And I want you to know where I'm coming from. I actually started writing a book on joy a few years ago, or at least I thought I was writing about joy. And then halfway through writing the book, I realized that I was not writing about joy. I was trying to write about being happy on the good days, the days where life is light and manageable. And then my life turned completely upside down. My circumstances changed, pressure increased, pain got real, and suddenly everything that I was writing on just felt really hollow. So I stopped and I started completely over. And this time I asked a hard question. What is joy when depression is present? What is joy when life feels heavy instead of hopeful? That journey reshaped everything for me. And that's what led me to write my book, Honest to Goodness Joy. So today, I don't want to preach at you. I want to sit with you and share what I have learned. Let me talk to you a second about something that is very true. Pain, no one really prepares you for it. Pain always narrows your field of vision, not because you're self-focused, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because pain works like tunnel vision. When you're hurting, especially when depression is involved, everything will pull you inward. Your thoughts will circle the same questions over and over again, like they're on repeat. How do I feel? Why is this so heavy? What's wrong with me? Will this ever lift? And if you're standing too close to that wall, all you see is the brick that's right in front of your face, even if there's a wide open landscape just a few steps back. That's why joy can feel impossible sometimes, not because joy is gone, because your vision is compressed. And this is why I love when Paul writes about joy, because Paul doesn't talk about joy from a beach or a breakthrough season. He talks about joy of all places from prison. And let's be honest, a prison does not lend itself for joy. No freedom, no comfort, no control. If joy were tied to circumstances or a mood, Paul would not be writing about that topic. Let's be honest. But Paul doesn't look inward for joy. He looks beyond himself. From prison, Paul writes these words: whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, think about these things. That verse is not about ignoring pain. It's about widening the frame. Paul isn't preaching from prison like it doesn't exist. He's refusing to let it be the only thing he looks at. It's not denial, it's having a clear direction. It's shifting your focus, not fixing depression, not minimizing it either, but gently lifting your gaze just enough to widen the view. Think of it like this. Depression is like if you're sitting in a dark room and there's one small lamp on. And the lamp is real, the darkness is real, but it is not the whole house. You are in one room. Shifting doesn't mean turning the light off. It means opening a door, pulling back a curtain, and allowing another source of light in. So I want to give you 3 simple shifts, not cures, not formulas, just shifts to create space for joy to breathe again. So the first one is shift from how do I feel to what is still true. Depression is loud in the feelings department. And if you start there, you will stay there. That doesn't mean that your feelings don't matter. It means that they don't get the final word. You can say, I don't feel joyful right now, but I know I'm not abandoned. Or you could say, I don't feel hopeful, but I know that this moment is not the whole story. That doesn't erase depression. It just stops it from being the only voice in the room. So second, shift from isolation to shared weight. Depression pulls inward. Joy almost always moves outward. Paul stayed connected even from confinement. He wrote letters, he named people, he stayed engaged. Isolation keeps you staring at that same wall, but connection will widen your view. Not by fixing it, everything in your life, but by reminding you that there's more beyond this particular moment. The third is shift from chasing joy to reorientating your focus. Paul never tells himself, I need to feel happier. He looks to Christ. He looks for purpose, for something that he can steady himself that is bigger than himself. It's like lifting your eyes from your feet while you're walking, and the ground, of course, is still there, but suddenly you're not just staring at every little crack that you see. It's not a formula. It's not a replacement. Hear me. It's for counseling or medication or real support, but it is a shift in your posture. When everything collapses inward, joy can feel suffocated. When you focus, even slightly, and you look up and you look at a bigger picture, then the joy can breathe and it can begin to find its way back to you. Paul shows us that joy isn't found by searching for it within yourself. It's found by anchoring yourself to something that is steadier than you. And sometimes that shift that widens your frame is enough to let joy back in. Not necessarily loudly or dramatically, just enough to remind you that the pain isn't the whole picture. And if this is where you are right now, if joy feels quiet or distant or buried, hear this. Joy isn't gone. It may be muted. It may be waiting for space, but it's still there. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop trying to feel different and just start gently shifting where you are currently looking.